Are you team Dean, Jess,
Yeah,
or
they're all
Logan?
bums. The bunch of bums. Get them out of here. Nobody's good enough for my Roy. Forget about it.
Is that right?
I think there's a new energy out there for her. I think there's something that she's looking for. I think maybe those three guys, they took their shot. They shot their shot.
Yep.
Didn't land. Sorry, guys. That's life.
So not even Jess.
Sorry. I just think there's something else out there for her.
Like Kirk?
Could be Kirk.
Could be Kirk.
I doubt it's Kirk.
Welcome to the Warner Brothers Lot. I'm Jonathon Buckley, and this is A Lot More. It's fall, which can only mean one thing. Gilmore Girls on repeat in homes all across the country. It's one of the most iconic comfort shows of all time. And to talk about his portrayal as the cynical softy Luke Danes, we're with the star's hollow staple, Scott Patterson. Scott, thanks for coming in to join us.
My pleasure.
You're a permanent fixture on my television in my house. My wife.
I apologize for that.
No.
I came here to personally apologize.
My wife is obsessed with the show, as are so many people that I know and that we work with here. It's Gilmore Girls is really something.
Yeah.
It's really, really something.
Yeah.
And to be part of that, I guess we'll find out how you feel about that. But it's been 25 years as of October this year.
October 5.
October 5.
Yeah.
Do you remember life before Gilmore Girls?
I do.
Yeah?
I do.
What was going on?
I was busy.
Yeah?
I was very busy. I was teaching acting. I had a lot of private students. I had 3 classes a week and a class on Saturday that my assistant at the time taught because I didn't want to deal with the parents because it was for kids.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you don't want to deal
What
with
age group?
it was like 7 years old to up to about 12.
That would be so much fun,
Yeah.
I feel like.
And they're like, do you think my daughter is a movie star? Do you think you could make some phone calls? Do you think, this? And it's just like this wonderful actress who I asked to help me for Saturdays, and
Yeah.
she didn't know what she was getting into.
Yeah.
I said, can you just teach a Saturday class and I'll pay you and all this stuff. And she said, yeah, sure, I love it. And then about a month later, she goes, what have you done to me? I said, but no, she was half joking, but she enjoyed it. And but I was really busy. Yeah,
I didn't know that about you. I knew you basically baseball and there's stuff like that, but I didn't know you were an acting teacher.
Yeah.
Like, did you study acting yourself? Was that something that you were always interested in?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I did in New York, and I had a lot of different teachers. I was at the Actors Studio for a while as an observer, not as a member. I didn't get in.
Yep.
But I was allowed to observe the sessions in the producer-director unit and in the acting unit. I was in several plays there.
Yep.
And I worked with some wonderful people, and I was exposed to some great teachings, and I studied with Bobby Lewis. I studied with Robert Modica at Carnegie Hall. I mean, I have a pretty extensive background in terms of being a professional student of the craft. So, I laid it down on some of the Hollywood kids,
Did you do much in the way of like work beforehand, like professional work before Gilmore Girls came up?
I had built up a resume as being a guest star on like Seinfeld, Will and Grace.
Yep.
It's like, Fired Up. So I worked with a lot of the top women like Sharon Lawrence and Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Deborah Messing. And so from about like 95 to 98, I was kind of hitting those milestones in my career and building up a pretty good reputation within the industry. Like, hey, he can do this job if you need him, and he doesn't get scared. I mean, you get nervous. You're there on the set of Seinfeld, or you're with Deborah Messing, and you're like,
They say those small parts on those big shows are some of the most stressful that you can do.
Well, with Deborah Messing, it was wonderful, and they're all wonderful. But I replaced somebody last minute.
Yeah.
So I just sort of went to the taping.
Yeah.
It wasn't really much of a rehearsal. So you rehearsal that Friday. They had been rehearsing all week, and I just stepped in. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, I can do this, but you're a little nervous. And they were all just so supportive. The Seinfeld cast was incredible and very supportive. They want you to be great because they know you're nervous.
And they would understand that you're coming in and there's a lot of star power in the room.
They know that they're a big deal and that people are going to come in and be intimidated. And the nicer they are, the more you relax. And they were all just great. They were really great.
When you've got that one line in the big series, I've got some friends who have done this, and I've done it myself, and it can be harder than having a whole scene of dialogue. You've got to say one line, and all of a sudden you forget how to form words with your mouth. Did you ever have something like that happen?
No. I don't know that I ever had one line. Can't remember a situation where I just came in and had one line. But yeah, no, I know what you mean, and that is tough. And there's, my mother was a very gifted actress in local plays and players, but my father was not. And the story about my dad was he had one line in a play that my mother was starring in, and he would come on and he'd blow his line every time. So it's in there. It's in the DNA. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So you were built it sounds like you had a fair bit of momentum in that period of time. Like when I say momentum, you're stacking up the credits and people are starting to get to know you.
I mean, it was like you have to figure out how to audition. It's not really like acting, but it is, and it's just different. You walk into a room and you have to kind of flip the psychology in there because they're seeing so many people and so many actors are making the same choices and they're all kind of bored and they're tired. And the people that they're making offers to aren't responding and they want too much money or whatever. So they're frustrated.
Yep.
So you really want to come in and do something a little different if you can.
Is that risky sometimes, I feel like? Because you come in and take a big swing and...
Hey, man, no risk, no reward, right?
Wow, okay.
Yeah. And honestly, by that time, by late 1999, early 2000, I was so burnt out on caring if I got the job, and I knew I wasn't getting the job, and I knew I was going to nail the audition, and the phone call would come from the manager saying, they loved you, but. Honestly, by the time I met Amy Sherman-Palladino and Gavin Polone and Leslie Linka Glatter in that room, I didn't care anymore. I was busy with my acting class. Yeah. And this is the second audition of the day. And I was going to go meet Carmen Electra in Santa Monica for an audition to play her husband in actually a really good script. Yeah. So I was kind of like keen on that.
Well, at the time, Carmen Electra was...
Yeah. So I was just like happy that, she wanted to meet me and that I got a chance to read with her and meet her and all that stuff. So Gilmore was like, it was just a pit stop on my way to Carmen.
That's hilarious.
So I did the read and I just... it's like, how can I describe it? The dumb courage of the truly burnout.
Yep. Yeah.
And I just didn't care. I mean, and they felt that, and I didn't need them, and I didn't care, and I knew I wasn't going to get it, so I was just really loose, and I did my thing, and I went with my gut on the character, and I did what I did, and what you saw on the show is what I did in the room, and they responded to it, so.
Did you get much information beforehand, or is it just like, you're going to be the love interest, this is a new show?
Read the script and worked on the scenes, and that was it, yeah.
Did you get a sense from that script that it might have been something really good? Because obviously the writing for the Gilmore Girls is...
That's why I was so relaxed. I read the script, and I said to my friend who was helping me with the audition, who was an actress, and I said, I have no chance at this. I'm not going to get this. This is too good, right? Because at that time, film actors and film stars were migrating over to television.
Yeah.
That's when it really kind of began. So they're banding about big names, I'm sure, at Warner Brothers, and they're not talking about me, and they're not talking about anybody that eventually got the roles in this show. And what I didn't know is we had a showrunner, Amy Sherman-Palladino, that was fighting for every one of us. Like, these are the people, and I don't care if they're famous, and I'd rather they didn't come in with any baggage, because these are the perfect characters.
Did you have a conversation with her after you booked the role about, like, any of this stuff, like that she knew when you walked in the room? Did they give any feedback?
No, she just would come on set and be happy and direct an episode, and we'd be happy, and it was full of energy and love and fun and laughs. Yeah, no, she's a party. She's like a moving part. She's like a party with legs. You know? She's a lot of fun to be around.
Was that a phone call that gave you the job? Or was that, do you have to go do callbacks, all that sort of stuff?
No, it was a guest star in the pilot. Yep. So I didn't have to jump through all those network hoops. Yeah.
Yeah. So you were like, this is probably going to last for...
I mean, I'll be in the pilot. Great. Yeah. Okay, and then that's it.
That'll be it. On to the next.
But then the manager calls and says, you realize that this pilot script begins and ends with Luke Steiner. I said, aha. wait a minute.
There's some meat here.
She said, so by the time I got home to change after the Carmen Electra thing and go to my acting class, I had a message on my machine, call me, the manager, right? Call me. Called her, she says, you got the job. And I'm like, what? Said, you got the job. They booked you. I said, that fast? She goes, yeah. So she explained to me that the actual filming of the pilot was going to be the final audition, whether you became a regular or not. It was a heat check between Lauren and myself to see if it was going to work.
To see if it was going to happen.
Right, because they could easily reshoot it, right, with somebody else if it didn't work. Because it was two or three scenes. It wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 4 scenes, 5 scenes. But I wasn't up there very long. I was up there for a couple of days, and then I was back home. And then the manager called and said they just called again. They offered you 2 episodes. I said, yes. Oh, let's do it.
We're working.
She said, yeah, man. She goes, nah, I'm going to say no. I said, don't do that. Don't say no. She goes, yeah, don't worry. I'm gonna get us a 6-year deal. Don't worry. I said, you're going to get us a 6-year. I said, okay. And then she called back and said, they offered 4 episodes. And I said, yes, great job. Let's do it. She goes, nah, we're going to get you a deal. And I'm like, oh, man, don't do that. Just take it. Let's just take it. It's a bird in the hand.
I'm like you. It's like bird in hands.
Let's just do it. And maybe my overwhelming talent and charm can get me the 6-year deal. She goes, no, you don't want to do that. So I don't know, a couple weeks went by and I was, doing my thing and I'm busy and I kind of forgot about it. And she called me, the manager, she said, come meet me for lunch at this cafe. And when I got there, she handed me a manila envelope and it was pretty thick. And I said, what is this? She goes, that's your deal.
You're kidding.
Yeah. It was a good lunch.
She's a good manager.
Yeah. It was a good day.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I heard somewhere, was Luke originally written as a woman?
That's what I read too. Yes, that's what I know to be true. Yes. And then the studio, in their infinite wisdom, and they're represented over here by these 2 lovely people, said, I think we'd rather have a guy.
Wow.
Yeah. So, lucky me.
And the rest is history.
I could have just still been teaching.
It's a great character. Did you find a lot of familiarity within yourself within the character? Was it an easy, not to say an easy lift, but there's certain roles you can kind of slide into and go, okay, I'm not stretching.
You know what he is? I understood him right away because he's I don't want to say typical, but he's definitely a Northeastern guy.
Yeah.
He's that guy. He's a post-World War II hard-ass, doesn't suffer fools. He's not super educated, but he ain't dumb. Mm-hmm. And he's a grinder. He's just a guy that gets up and works. He gets up at 5 and he works all day. And he works till 10 and he goes to bed. And he likes his little town and he doesn't want to leave it. And he's got his thing and he's got his issues, but he knows who cares and nobody cares. And he just wants to be a member of the community and support this woman that he really has the hots for, but can't express it. And he wants to be a good community member and not screw this up. So that's why he's like, plus he sees her dating every Jimmy, Jack, and John coming down the pike.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, So, yeah. She's a little intimidating to him, right? Mm-hmm. That's a lot of woman there. That's a big personality. Yeah. That's just like a lot coming at you. And I think he's just sort of like, wow, I feel pretty safe here. Yeah. Let's not pull the trigger yet, but,
Yeah, just sit and wait.
It takes him 4 years.
Yeah. We talked about the writing earlier. The writing of the show obviously is phenomenal. Everybody knows it. It's like, it's hilarious, genuinely hilarious.
Yes.
But it's got so much heart.
Yes.
But it's also so much. Was it difficult for you to slide into those large amounts of dialogue?
No. I have a little bit of a theater background, so I'm kind of used to memorizing big chunks of dialogue, a little bit of Shakespeare. So
yeah. Well, that's tough.
It's actually a lot easier than people think. If you understand the role, okay, you don't necessarily have to understand what you're saying right away, but if you understand the role, okay, if you get the macro and you understand the function of your character, there's an emotional logic to the dialogue that makes it quite easy to remember. And the more you memorize, the more it makes sense. It's like putting a puzzle together that makes sense to you.
Yep.
So I didn't find it terribly difficult to memorize that dialogue. And anything that's well written is not hard it's not hard. If you can't remember it, then it's like, it ain't me, it's the writing.
We were just having this conversation just yesterday about writing and about how poorly written stuff is it's so hard when it doesn't flow because it's so hard. But if you get something that's written well, written naturally, it comes so quickly.
But I will say, yes, I was in my trailer every morning running lines and like getting bulletproof because you really just want to come on set and be bulletproof. There was no opportunity here to improvise anything.
I was gonna ask.
No. It's got to be word perfect, commas, periods. There's very few pauses. It's just like you just got to go through it, right?
Yeah.
And that's the easy part of it because it's all sort of like, if you're in the rehearsal process, let's say we're in the diner and it's, 7 a.m. and the actors are there, directors are there, and we're blocking it out. It all just kind of falls into place because it's sort of, the dialogue is almost telling you where you want to move within the scene.
Yep.
And that's my favorite part of the whole process is figuring out the scene, the blocking of the scene. And it's if you have clunky dialogue, there's just so many places you can go with it, and they're all wrong. And if you can't figure it out because everything feels like it doesn't fit, then you really need to sort of just work on the scene, writing-wise.
So most of your scenes, you're moving and grooving throughout as well. So people think it's just remembering lines, but you're in there, you're making coffees, you're getting stuff done, you're filling out paperwork, and that's all got to flow well and feel real. Did you spend a lot of time just in the space, kind of just figuring out where everything lives? Did you become one with Luke's diner?
I did. I tried to, spend as much time as possible. And then, you become acclimated. You get familiar with everything, where everything is. Sometimes in a scene you forget. And you pull out a coffee cup when you're looking for the fork or something. But that's the craft, right? You have to know the space. So you have to live in the space. You have to know it. Or you have to convince people that you live in the space and that you know that space. Because if you can't do that, then they don't suspend their disbelief as much.
Well, it's something as simple as, I think it was Bryan Cranston talked about this in his book, is like simple things like knowing where the light switch is. In your own house, you know exactly where you don't need to look for it. You don't need to be reaching for it. And go, because it doesn't play real. So knowing those spaces and making it feel real is like a big part of it.
Intimately, yes.
Yeah. So it was 153 episodes is in total?
I think it was, 153 plus the 4 Netflix episodes.
Yeah. So
the Warner
that's
Brothers
over the course
Netflix
of
collab,
a decade.
7 years plus,
That's a serious chunk of work.
Yeah, and it could have been a lot more serious chunk of work. That show could have still been on the air.
Yeah.
The demand is there for it. It went by so quickly.
Did it?
It just really did. It was like, I remember doing the pilot and then the first day at Warner Brothers and then getting that 10-page scene thrown at us at 6 a.m. in the makeup chair, Lauren and I, and we went, uh-oh. And then we memorized it and went and did it 20 minutes later.
So you're doing that same day?
Same morning.
Yeah.
So knowing, how good these actors were and how much fun this was going to be.
Yeah.
Because, that's what I trained for is I like being in the arena with lions, and will we survive this? And that's the excitement of it. And this cast provided to a person that opportunity to be great.
And it's brilliant people. And it's funny looking back in hindsight too, there's people that are now household names. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is kind of like their fledgling years. And you created so many stars, or they created themselves, but you were working amongst some, like you said, some titans.
I didn't do a lot of scenes with Melissa McCarthy, but I remember those scenes fondly.
So good.
And, I tell my kid now, I say, I worked with her. Yeah, I taught her that.
Yeah.
Sure. I didn't, but I tell them that.
Yeah. Was it as fun as it sounds? I mean, did you like, some sets are different than others. Some sets can be high pressure, high stakes. You realize you've got a massive show on your hands and it's like, we've got to get this right. Or was there a looseness and a freedom to it?
All of the above. My definition of fun might be different from other people's definition of fun. Yes, there was pure fun and laughter, but what I consider to be the most fun for me is intensity in the work.
Yep.
And when we're in rehearsal, is finding the beats and finding, the gestures and finding the blocking and the movement. That's what I find fun.
Yeah.
And then the first couple of takes are really special and exciting, but then after that, I'm like, let's move on. Yeah.
do you find it gets those first few are always the best takes? Those first couple?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's
like a freshness to it.
There's no question about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's when you're the most focused and the most connected.
Yeah.
I feel for me. Some people need 5 takes just to get warmed up, you know? It depends on the role, really. It really depends on the role. And it also kind of depends on the person's process. Everybody has a different process. And I found recently that, in certain situations with certain types of dialogue, you don't really need to be as prepared. You shouldn't really prepare so much because I like to get that surprise. I like to surprise myself. And if you plan everything, you sort of lose interest in doing that day in, day out, right? So for there to be a really true kind of organic, in-the-moment reaction, or, you can't really rehearse that much. You can't really plan it that much. If you have a really good sense of what the dialogue is, right? And I think that's why later in their careers, some of the great actors we read about had dialogue written on cue cards over here and over there because they didn't want to know what it was, or they couldn't remember it anyway.
Yeah.
But it's like it provides sometimes for some choices and in-the-moment reactions that are fresh and real. So,
and it also takes a significant amount of listening as well to when you're working with opposite people that you were working opposite, is listening to what they're doing and their freshness and responding to that as well.
Right, but that's the whole soul of it, right? Yeah. Is the listening part.
Yep.
And if you don't do that, you're not going to be very good. So, and it was easy to listen to these people. They're just so good. It was so good. I miss them so much. We have to get together again.
I was going to say,
it's just like
these types of things. I mean, I liken it to, you have these years where you're in college, or, you hear about showmancers. You did plays, and there's, you're all together as a team, and it's so intense. And was it like that for the 7 or how many years it was that you shot? Was it intense? You're living with each other day in, day out.
Listen, people are coming to work and they're wanting to lay it down, man.
Yeah.
And that's a great environment to be in with people that are, listen, you either go for great or go home.
Yeah.
And you don't always achieve it, right? Sometimes, rarely you achieve it that day.
Yeah.
But you got to try.
Yeah.
Why else are you getting out of bed?
Yep.
Just to get through the day? No. I mean, I've heard people say that to me. Like, hey, we're just trying to get through the day. I said, well, good luck with that.
Yeah,
it's like, no, this is forever. What we're doing is going to be, we're going to be up there forever once they yell cut.
Yep.
So
you better get it.
Got to care more.
Care a little bit.
And everybody in this cast cares so much. And that's just who you want to be with.
And like it or not, you guys are now sort of bonded for life through this thing that you've created. And who would have thought, I mean, maybe you did at the time, but to have the longevity that it's had.
Yes.
And at the time, we didn't even have this idea of what is probably thrown around, a term that's thrown around a lot now, which is comfort shows, which is shows that are outrating new shows that are coming out years later.
It is, in my opinion, and this just hit me, it is the quintessential American show because it has pop culture humor. It's got literary humor. It's got levels of humor that few shows have ever achieved. It's got a mother-daughter, grandmother dynamic that is dealt with in a way that has never been dealt with before. And women really responded to that because it spoke to them. They all had issues with their mothers. And if they didn't, they wanted to have issues like Lorelai and Rory had, right? They wanted that. They didn't want Emily, they wanted that. And if they came from Emily, they wished they had Lorelai Rory, right? So it was this really powerful spine that this piece of work has. And it's iconoclastic as hell. I mean, that's one of the beauties of this show. You know that Amy and Dan are going to take shots at people, and they're going to knock people off their pedestals, and they don't care who it is. Yeah. There's a scene where Kirk comes in and he doesn't know where to sit. He goes, if I were Tom Cruise, where would you tell me to take a seat? And I said, Luke says, in an acting class, right? I mean, I don't personally feel that way.
Yep.
I happen to love the guy. I love his work. But it's like Amy and Dan taking shots at people, like good-natured ribbon and shots. It's hysterical. Yeah. I mean, nobody expected that to come out of my mouth. and it's quoted to me all the time. I do a lot of conventions. I meet a lot of people, a lot of fans, and they love that line. And it has the warmth of a small town. It does. But it travels so well to other countries because it's just people that care about each other. Yep. And they're all, I mean, think about it. They're all kind of crazy. and this is a show that allows people to be their true selves. And if you were to name a showrunner or showrunners in Amy and Dan who created, 30 distinctive voices, 40 unique distinctive voices, I bet you there'd be a category of one, and it's those two, or two, and it's those two. So a lot of shows, all the characters sound the same.
Yeah.
Or similar, right? This is different.
Yeah,
much different.
Very unique. And you're right about all of the different references throughout the show. There's references that it bears rewatching again because there's little quips in there about bands that we now know of and comedians and like John Cleese and things like this. Like I was actually watching the episode last night. I think it was season 5, episode 22, and it was the episode where you were proposed to. But I was in stitches laughing about your battle with these cyclists that were coming through the town for the bike race. Yes. And it was so well written, and it's something that you can just relate to. You've seen it before. The guy's yelling out. You're like, why are you doing that? And it's those types of moments that really just, do you remember that?
I don't remember the scenes so much, but I do remember having to walk across the street without looking at the cyclists. Yeah. And hopefully not getting hit because they're coming pretty fast. And I should have gotten stunt pay, and I never did. So, but I think I'm getting repaid now with everything that we're doing with Warner Brothers. So, wonderful memories, wonderful scenes. I love the stuff that I get to do, like the physical stuff, the non-dialogue-y stuff, like smashing the sledgehammer through the wall with Jess and pushing him in. A lot of stuff with Jess I like, pushing him in the lake or the water. And that bicycle scene was nerve-wracking, but it was fun. It was fun. You got to be outside a little bit and do something. Yeah,
This is great. Yeah. I mean, everybody loves to sort of stick it to the cyclists nowadays. You guys were doing it a long time ago.
Yeah, so. I just where I live, I beeped at a cyclist.
Did you?
I did, and it was like I think it was the guy's wife because she was coming out into the road. And I just gave a little. It's just no big deal. Yeah, And then, of course, what happens is I pass, he flips me off.
Classic.
And I pulled over and said, I'm sorry.
No, it's the Lycra. I say that, I ride bikes myself, so whatever. It's been, since the show wrapped, do you look back on it differently now than maybe you did at the time? Because I heard that you hadn't even really watched a lot of the series back in the day. No. Did you not watch any of it?
I didn't watch any of it. No.
For any reason?
I don't like watching myself.
Were people telling you, like, hey, it's really good, you should watch it?
No, they're saying, you really suck in it. You should not watch it. No. I just get very uncomfortable watching a performance.
Yeah.
And I'm just, in real time, when we're doing it, what's the line? I make the sausage all day. I don't want to eat it when I come home. You know, it's like I want to do anything but watch that show. And I just was there all the time.
Yeah.
I did it. You know, there were so many other things, you know, I didn't get to do because I put so much time doing that I just wanted to do those things, right? Or watch those movies or those shows. So yeah, I saw the pilot, which I thought, it's pretty good. You know, I thought it was good. And I was forced to watch Winter when we did the premiere in Westwood.
Yep.
I also was very impressed with that. I thought that really works as a studio level rom-com. And it looked great, and it was directed beautifully, and it was acted beautifully, and it looked better than the TV show. It looked like the film version of the show.
Yeah, yeah.
And it actually was. I was very impressed with it. Yeah.
So you took some time. You took a little breather after it wrapped, and then was it curiosity that brought you into it to come and take a look, or
not in the least? No. It was during COVID.
Yep.
And I called Amy Sugarman, who I'd done a podcast over at iHeart. I was on the Becca and Tilly show about a year prior. So I called her and I said, hey, I have this idea for a podcast, not knowing that they already had like 20 of these rewatch things. And I said, and I've never seen the episode, what if I watch the episodes? And then we talked about it, you know, on the podcast. She goes, that's a great idea. Let me run it up the flagpole. And then she called me the next day and said, yeah, let's do it. We have a deal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, that's amazing. She goes, Scott, by the way, we have 20 of these. She said, it's perfect. It's a perfect idea.
But they haven't ever had one with Luke, so...
This was the gap in the marketplace that I wanted to fill. Yes, let's get Luke in there,
and also fresh eyes as well. Like that's no small thing. Like to come into it with fresh eyes and be watching it, and I'm assuming a lot of it you would have relegated to memory, like just forgotten. You know, entirely about like, oh wow, wait, that's right, we shot that whole bit. That was hilarious.
I'm going to tell you that what I learned from watching the show the first time around, because now we're on the second go-around. It's I Am All In with Scott Patterson. Now it's I Am All In again with Scott Patterson. So we're in season 3, we just recorded episode 5.
Yep.
All right, so we're, almost halfway in the second go-around. The first go-around, the thing that I realized is that I am a horrible TV critic. I am terrible. I am a good film critic, but I am a terrible TV critic. A lot of what I saw the first time around really surprised me, sometimes in not such a good way. But most of the time, I was just blown away at how good it was.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yep.
And then I started, I get it now. I get why fans are so engaged with this show. And
attached to the show.
I mean, no, it literally, it's on in the background in their homes all of the time.
It is literally my wife.
Yeah.
She said it, I think last night, she's like, I might be on my 17th rewatch.
Easily. And she's like not even an executive member of the fandom now. She's still a junior.
Yeah.
At 20, she's got to get to like 50 to 75.
Is that what it is?
And then she can get a bigger office.
That's hilarious.
Right. So,
yeah.
It's amazing how people, there is something to be said for the quality that this show keeps pumping out there, and it's therapeutic and it's medicinal to people.
Absolutely.
And I've get so many messages from fans about how it, really kind of saved their lives and helped them and when they were going through a tough surgery or a tough time in their life or a divorce or something was going bad in their lives, and they would just latch onto the show and it would get them through it.
How does it feel to have that kind of impact?
Well, it's not me, it's the creators, right? I mean,
to be part of that, I mean, you're a major part of that.
I honestly feel like I have a responsibility.
Yeah.
Not to sound pretentious about it, but when people come to you so open-heartedly and so vulnerable, I think you do have a responsibility to really listen. And take in what their experience is. So,
and it is a responsibility too. Like, is there a bit of weight to that too? Is that because it?
Yeah, I get home from conventions and I collapse. Yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah,
you take it on, because these people are so lovely. They're really lovely folks.
Yeah.
I've never had a bad encounter with a Gilmore fan. It's always like, when I played professional baseball, I ended my career with the LA Dodgers. I went to spring training with them. I didn't make the team. I was going to retire. Sandy Koufax was my mentor in that spring training. And his purpose, I believe, in my life was to exit me into my new life from my old life. And he helped me greatly with that. We'd take these long walks after workouts. And here I was with one of my boyhood heroes, such just a beautiful guy. And he really helped me, like, realize maybe there's something better out there for you. But the way that fans would approach him or just be in so much awe that's Sandy Koufax in a Dodger uniform with Koufax on his back as a roving pitching instructor in spring training, fans would just like... And this is what happens with Gilmore fans.
Did he give you any pearls of wisdoms of how to sort of deal with that? Did you observe that and learn something from that?
No, not that. No, because he was so great. Well, yes, just by example, yes. Just he was so gracious with everybody.
Yeah.
Because they were so in awe. And a lot of Gilmore fans, when I meet them, they become very, very emotional because all of those memories and all of their struggles and joys are coming out in one moment.
Yeah.
That, they've waited in line to see me and now they have their moment. And, it becomes overwhelming for them, where some can't speak, some begin to cry, and they're always happy.
Yeah. And
it's like, how can you treat people any other way but with real respect and listen to them and hear them? So
it's nice that you understand that the gravity of that too, because I mean it's a small moment in time for you, but this is a major moment for somebody else. And
oh God, yeah,
your character of Luke has been a part of their household for years, and it's like there's such a familiarity. And
I've met so many of my heroes, right? Yeah. And I've been disappointed.
Yeah,
a lot of the times. And I swore if that ever happened for me, if I was ever in that position where I wasn't going to be that way.
Yeah.
I was going to show them respect because it just felt so horrible sometimes when I'd meet some of these people and I was like, Jesus, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
And then I'd stop buying their stuff.
Yeah, that would be that.
It's like, throw it away. Get rid of it. Get it out of here. It doesn't take much.
Yeah.
You just... you're either a people person or you're not. I guess I'm a people person. I really enjoy meeting them. And that's one of the reasons that I wanted to do these conventions is I wanted to get out there in the world and meet them. And there they are. There they are.
I think it's great that you've really leaned into the whole culture of the Gilmore Girls world.
I mean, I knew I was, listen, I mean, how often in anybody's life does lightning strike like that? Yeah. I mean, I spent 7 years trying to be a Major League Baseball player. Lightning never struck.
Yep.
And when it did, I wasn't ready, right? And then it strikes in this career pretty early on in my career. And I was 41 years old when I got this role.
Yeah.
So I'd done some living, partner.
Yeah, you've been around. You've seen some things.
So I knew that this was pretty special. And I get that if you're a younger actor and you think you have this big runway of a career ahead of you and you're going to have all kinds of roles, you really don't want to embrace that character you played when you were 25 or 20 or whatever. Yeah. I understand that. But when you're 41 and then you're off the show at 48, you think twice about walking away from something like that.
You appreciate the magic that's just happened.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because you're going to get labeled anyway, and it's going to be tough for you to get roles anyway because people really see you just as that.
Yep.
Embrace it.
How long did it take you to find something else or dive into something else after Gilmore Girls wrapped?
The very next year, I had a holding deal at Warner Brothers they put me on a show, and I didn't put me on, but I agreed to be on a show called Aliens in America.
Okay.
So that was one season. And then right after that, I did another show called an NBC big event series that was supposed to kind of be the heroes, the next heroes. It didn't turn out that way. It needed to be rescued.
Yeah. Okay.
It was called The Event.
Oh, I remember The Event. Yeah, I have a friend that was.
And that was kind of a shocker that I even got that, because it was such a big
series.
It was a big project going around
series.
Hollywood, and
Very
I'm like,
ambitious.
I'll go read for it. And then I end up getting it. I'm like, huh? And then my attorney told me you get 3 shots in the business. So it was Gilmore, Aliens, and then this. And this one went a year.
Yep.
And it was a tough year for the show. And then that was that. And then he said, now you're going to have a long sit. And he wasn't wrong.
Wow. It sounds like you've had insightful, smart, and good management throughout your career.
Absolutely. And look, I came into it a little later in my life than probably would be recommended.
Yeah.
But I didn't care, because I knew that the one thing was true about acting: the more you do it, the older you get, the better you get.
Yeah.
If you're paying attention.
Do you still enjoy it? Do you still enjoy the craft?
I love it.
Fun.
I love it, and I'm so comfortable doing it, and I really feel like I can do anything in front of the camera now, because I'm so relaxed.
There's a calm. I can sense that.
Right. It's not so much. I mean, it's craft, but now it's just really I know exactly who I am, and I have so many life experiences that there isn't anything a writer can throw at me that I'm not familiar with, that I haven't lived through and conquered or whatever. So I'm like, I don't need your notes. Let's just shoot. I understand. Yeah.
Well, I've as I've mentioned, there's a lot of fans around the building, in my house as well. And so we kind of asked around and we got some fan questions around.
Okay.
I'm sure this is stuff you've had before. Maybe we'll get a few new ones in there, but we've got some good questions here that we'll work through. Just a few quick ones for you.
By the way, you're really good at this.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I'm learning from you.
No,
I'm telling you.
Anytime I get someone, this is really nice to chat. Has it been fun running the podcast? I mean, that's a different skill.
Oh, it's I'm not particularly great at it.
I doubt that.
I'm getting
this
better at
conversation
it.
has been really nice.
I just enjoy the people I work with, and I think that's the key. I have great producers and I have great people working, and it's a iHeart has they really know how to do this. They make it easy for me. I just sort of step in and start talking.
Across the street here. Do you go in over there? Do you do it over there?
No. We do it from our home. Everybody's remote. We do it on Zoom.
Like it.
I'd like to come in and do it as a group, but everybody's, and they're in different places, and I think they're staying there. So it's like the COVID effect.
Yeah, some people just locked in, and that was that.
Yep.
All right, rapid fire. If Luke didn't own a diner, what do you think he would be doing for a living?
I think he'd be running maybe a B&B on Lakeside and, have a fishing business or something.
That sounds about right. Yeah,
camping.
Like a scooter rental on the side or something.
Yeah.
Do you have a preferred brand of flannel shirt?
I have so many of them. No. No, ones that aren't itchy.
I was going to say, I was thinking this while I was watching the series. Side note, but watching the series, I was like, you got really lucky to get on a series that ran for so long where you got to wear a baseball cap and a flannel. It's not like you were the Penguin where you had to put prosthetics on every day. And,
do you know how much time I spent in the hair and makeup trailer? They'd throw a little powder up in the air, I'd run through it, and I'd go to my trailer. That's
the way to do it. How do you take your coffee?
I take mine black with a little bit of honey, a little cinnamon honey.
Cinnamon honey?
Yeah, I like my cinnamon honey right now.
Yeah, it's a little spice to it.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think Luke uses? Now, I had to look this one up as well, just to double check. This is deep. There's a Reddit thread about it. What do you think Luke uses the third and fourth floors of the diner for?
There are no third and fourth floors.
So this is why I had to take a look. Apparently there's a shot from the outside of the building and there's a third and fourth floor of the diner, but there's only 2 floors that are shown the interior of in the series.
Oh, that's where I keep the hats and the flannels.
Is that where
the extras? Yeah, that's the storage. That's storage, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Right.
Makes sense. Because you had a good selection of hats and flannels.
They're all up there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What's your comfort show?
You know, things that make me feel comfortable are very well done films. I don't really have a TV show. I like The Diplomat.
Okay.
I really think Kerry Russell's fantastic. I love Rufus Sewell. I think that is a beautifully written, executed show.
Yep.
I can't wait for season 4. I got through Ozark. I thought that was remarkable.
Fantastic.
Remarkable show. But really for me, if I want real comfort, I'm going to watch an old movie, you know.
Do you have a particular one in mind?
I mean, any kind of Kubrick film I'll watch, and it'll make me feel like, there's some... This is nice.
There is something about that, and I don't know if this is a modern thing or if it's been going on forever, but I just feel like, again, with Gilmore Girls, people are going back to entertainment.
Nostalgia. Yeah.
Nostalgic entertainment. Films that made them feel
I think
good.
it's when you see... Like, I just watched The Exorcist again.
So did I. They shouldn't have made that film. That was...
But it was... but it's a beautiful film in that it's really not about... I mean, good versus evil, Satan versus God. It is. I mean, that's the backdrop. But really, it's Ellen Burstyn's performance, her fear of losing her daughter. It's on a very primal, basic level. And it was just such a beautiful performance. And the hook comes in when they're on the bed trying to calm her down, and she's this. And Ellen Burstyn is just the first time she screams out like, "Oh my God, what's happening?" You know, and it's just like, wow. And you're in for the ride. You're just in for the ride. And I love, films that were made on film, not digital. Yep. It's a different look. It's a different
50
texture.
years old now, The Exorcist. It's remarkable.
Look at the lighting. Look at the colors.
And it holds up.
And the performances and the camera movements. This is when directors knew what they were doing, and it's kind of a dying art. And there's a lot of, like, the great directors I love to watch. Okay. I just love, it's the reason I wanted to be in the business is watching great writing, great acting, great directing.
How fortunate that you got on one of the best written shows of all time. Like, unreal.
Yeah, right?
All right. We know Luke was the one for Lorelei, but if you had to give second place to anybody, who would it go to?
No.
Nope. Okay. I had a feeling.
Kirk.
I didn't mind Christopher.
Kirk's in there. He gave it a shot.
I was going to say Kirk. My wife was like, do not say Kirk.
For anybody to have the courage to step up.
Yeah.
Like a Kirk.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, So I'm saying that they're all bums except for Kirk.
I love my wife. She was like, do not say Kirk. I was like, I like Kirk. What's one thing you always keep stocked in your fridge?
Well, a lot of things. Lemons.
Lemons?
Yeah. I'm a big lemon guy.
A lemon guy? Do you have a tree?
We have a tree next door. The neighbor has a tree.
Neighbors are usually generous with lemons.
And I've never asked, but
just take.
There may or may not have been a couple, maybe several occasions when I was out of lemons and I kind of sort of, Pink Panthered next door and like plucked one off their tree.
I don't think they'll mind. There's always a surplus of lemons.
I'm still waiting for some, shotgun pellets in the back, but, drop the lemons, son. So, lemons. Love lemons.
We know Luke was a big fan of the self-help tape. Do you have one piece of Luke self-help advice for life?
It's not about you.
It's not about you.
It's about everyone else.
It's nice.
In terms of your family and who you love.
Have you ever thought of opening your version of Luke's Diner?
Funny you should mention that. That's pretty much all I think about.
I love that.
Maybe one day.
Really?
I mean, maybe one day. I don't know how much I can divulge, but we've been talking about this for, I don't know, a couple of years now. Yeah.
It makes so much sense.
Doesn't it? I mean, it's like, listen, you know, I know that Warner Brothers would like to do it.
Wow.
And I've presented plans to them from architects, and you know, it's gotten to the point where it's getting pretty serious. And I think, you know, it would not only be a hit, but you could have replica diners in certain areas.
Yeah.
You could have mega diners in other areas, and in place where there's tons of tourist traffic. And I think that, you know, just this year alone, right? 25th anniversary, and this has been happening for several years, but just this year alone, my assistant has been clocking, and she's not even searching for them, literally thousands of Gilmore celebrations and people converting their diners into Luke's Diner all over the country and all over the world. And we see the footage, we see the Instagram pages, and the amount of IP infringement and copyright violations that are going on out there.
Yeah, yeah.
And Warner Brothers is so great about it.
Yeah.
Because they know it's good, you know, it's just feeding the entire excitement of it, right? Those places are overrun with fans. There was a woman in Pennsylvania who has a little coffee shop, and she put a photo of my face on a flannel shirt with as a scarecrow, and put it next to the diner, and boom, there's a line around
the corner.
Yeah. And so
you should drop by and visit one day just to put a smile on their face.
You know,
serve a cup of joe.
I got to tell you, a diner would be such a joy for the fans.
Yeah.
And you could make it so they could have a full Gilmore experience. We have lots of ideas. You know, we'll see. We'll see. We're hopeful.
You have your own coffee, though.
Yes. Scotty Pete's Big Mug Coffee. And interestingly, I approached Warner Brothers about a co-branding deal, and they said yes. And we've been, you know, we're about a year and a half in our co-branding, and we're developing, you know, we have a Luke's Diner blend, we have a Dragonfly Inn blend, we have a 25th anniversary blend, we have Luke's hot chocolate, we have Luke's pancake
it's like a
mix.
whole range.
We've got maple syrup, Luke's maple syrup. We're developing Dragonfly teas for holidays made here, which is coming up December 18th through January 4th. And by the way, should I say?
Say it.
And this is an exclusive right here. We wanted to save it for you.
Oh, I'm excited.
I've just signed a deal with Warner Brothers that will bring me to holidays made here every single day, except for Christmas when the studio's closed.
Yeah.
But I will be here doing a podcast.
Amazing.
On December 18th.
Yep.
And then 19, 20, 21, all the way through January 4, I will be at Warner Brothers Studios celebrating with fans.
That's awesome. So will people be able to come through on a tour and, you know, maybe take a photo or
Absolutely.
say hello?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And it was their idea.
Yeah.
You know, we were just talking. We had a Zoom call with some of the Warner Brothers folks that are, you know, my family at this point, my friends. And one of the guys who's heading up one of the departments, he said, we're talking about how many dates that I could appear and what my availability was and all that. And then at the end of it, he goes, how do you feel about coming every day? And there was this long pause because I was so shocked. And I was just like, yes, let's do that. That would be fun.
It does sound like a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I said, you just happened to hit me at the right time because I tore my meniscus and I can't go skiing
Got to
this year.
recover a little bit. Yeah.
So I'm available, man. I'm looking for a gig.
I love that.
So every day, and
great way to spend your days.
Yeah, why not?
Great way to spend your days.
Yeah. Be there New Year's Day. I'll be there the 2nd of January. I'll be there the 24th of December. I'm going to be there. So come on by.
Oh,
buy
I'll
your
be stopping
tickets.
by for
Everybody,
sure.
come on
Can we get
in.
some of your coffee while we're there?
We're going to have all kinds of co-branded coffees. You know what? I have a list.
Oh.
If you don't mind.
No, right. While we're here, we might as well.
I'm going to put on my x-ray specs because this is invisible ink. We've got an anniversary blend, 25th anniversary. We've got everything that I mentioned before. And hang on a second. Here's some more firsts for your podcast.
Oh my goodness,
we saved so much good stuff for you. Yeah. We've got 4 Gilmore Girls coffees, new coffees that we're releasing for holidays made here. Ready for this? And this is going to blow your mind.
Okay.
And it's going to blow your wife's mind. Ready?
Yeah.
Candy cane coffee.
Oh, that's... Yeah,
thanks very much.
That'll show up in the
Luke's
cupboard.
whole bean espresso.
Oh, good. So that'll come and you'll grind that yourself?
I don't... Maybe?
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know if I can commit to that, but maybe. 6 new teas. Okay, Dragonfly Inn teas.
I'm a tea drinker.
There might be a Luke's tea in there, too. So there's 6 teas. We got 2 types of honey. Got some honey coming.
Cinnamon honey?
I don't know. I'm really pushing for the cinnamon. I just sent an email. I said, look, I love the cinnamon honey. Yeah. So can we develop a SKU? And they're like, all right, we'll revisit this. I said, taste it again. 5 different types of jams.
Yeah.
Okay. All branded as Dragonfly or Luke's. And rounding out the new offerings are a Luke's biscuit mix and 2 Taylor's old-fashioned soda shop chocolate-covered treats. Thank you very much, ladies.
So we got treats.
If I was holding a mic right now, I'd drop it.
I tell you what, the biscuit mix. So is it a bake-it-yourself type deal?
Yeah, it's a powdered mix. Yeah.
Are you enthused? Like, I know that obviously, like, with the character, like the coffees and the baking and all that sort of stuff. But is this something that you're interested in at home in your private life as well?
My pantry is filled with this stuff.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I cook, right?
Yeah.
So I'm up every morning cooking my son breakfast before he goes to school.
That's awesome.
And it's either pancakes, and he loves the pancakes and syrup.
Yeah.
He loves all this stuff. My wife bakes all the other apple crisp and cinnamon and all that kind of stuff, and brownies, and it's good stuff.
That sounds like good.
Yeah. We've got an issue now where we need to start fasting.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, especially if you're going with the baked goods, it's tricky.
Black shirt hiding the tire. Thanks very much.
Your house must smell amazing. Is there a real life place you visited that reminds you of Stars Hollow?
The town I grew up in, Haddonfield, New Jersey.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What is it about it that feels so akin?
It's a classic, historic, leafy, East Coast, Northeast, small town.
Small town. Everyone knows everyone's name.
Everybody knows everybody's business. Everybody knows each other's name. Everybody's accountable.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Really nice.
It is.
Do you have any hopes of something like a Christmas special?
Funny you should mention this.
What?
Are you bugging my phone? No. Like, what's happening here?
Spying. We've got
diners, Christmas specials. Listen, I know Amy's talked about it and Lauren's repeated that. You have to think there's some intention there, right? Right. They just don't. They're not loose talking gals, man.
Yep.
So there might be something afoot. I am not aware of anything. But again, yes, we have
feature length or miniseries.
I mean, there's lots of things that I have personally pitched, and I've had people approach me, some Emmy-winning reality people approach me and say, hey, what do you think of this? You want to executive produce this? You want to executive produce that? And we're talking in the studio now about a number of different options for specials and cooking shows and all kinds of things. So
make a lot of people happy, I think.
You know what? You just nailed it. I mean, that's what we do. It's like we're in the happiness business.
Yeah, absolutely.
And these are the happiest fans on the world. And I can't wait for you to see, if you haven't experienced it yet, but if you're there opening day, December 18th, you're going to see 5,000 to 6,000 of the happiest people you've ever seen in your life. Because there's, a Gilmore fan by themselves or just with their group of people, they're super happy.
Yeah.
They're bouncing off the walls. They're so happy. And it's great to be around. But multiply that by, 1,000, 2,000, there you got.
Just joy.
It's amazing.
It's a massive joy
It's
machine.
amazing. Yes.
All right. Final question. And this is a question that since hosting this podcast has come up more times than I would have thought I've had to ask this question. Are you team Dean, Jess,
Yeah,
or
they're all
Logan.
bums. The bunch of bums. Get them out of here. Nobody's good enough for my Rory. Forget about it.
Is that right?
Yep. I think there's a new energy out there for her. I think there's something that she's looking for. I think maybe those three guys, and look, I love all those guys, right? I'm just saying the characters.
Yeah, of course.
They had their shot. They took their shot. They shot their shot.
Yep.
Didn't land. It landed and then it rolled out of the rim. Or the ref waved it off. There was a penalty. Sorry, guys. That's life.
So not even Jess.
Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a lot of strong feelings. I've been expressly told.
Like I
Team
said,
Jess.
great guys.
Yeah.
Love them to death, right? They're like my little brothers. But I just think there's something else out there for her.
Like Kirk.
Could be Kirk.
Could be Kirk.
I doubt it's Kirk.
Scott, thank you so much for coming. This has been really enjoyable.
Yeah,
I love
fun.
learning about you. So if you're watching and you want more of the Gilmore Girls, I'm All In is the podcast.
I Am All In again with Scott Patterson, iHeartRadio. Yeah.
Check it out. Yeah, thank you so much for
got it.
taking
My
the time. This
pleasure.
has been great.
Good seeing you, man. All right, you got it.
Cheers.